Just one more signature, then we are done for today.
Thank you for your trust, Elise, but am I really the person who should be signing these papers? I thought Loki was appointed as the vampire ambassador, and you're a whore agent, so why are the two of us discussing the underground district of Windenburg?
It's a former witch hunter hideout turned vampire capital. Cleaning up the hunter's mess is part of my job, and you are the only vampire the ageless sage trusts now that Loki is on vacation. I realize we both have more pressing concerns at the moment. I might actually lose my job at the university if I keep neglecting it for the sake of the magic realm, but the sooner we get through this, the better.
Okay then. What am I signing here?
The permission to connect Shadow Vale to the magic realm via portal, like the ones in Glimmerbrook and Forgotten Hollow.
They might as well move with the times, literally, and use your wormhole generator for this.
Yes, please. I could use a time machine to travel to the end of this music lesson. Is it even still a lesson if the teacher completely ignores the student?
Sorry, Beryl. I'll be with you in a second.
You know, I appreciate that you're helping my sister and Serena Kaylani convert Studio Donna into a more inclusive safe space for women, but if part of that deal was resuming your violin classes with Serena's bratty miniature edition, they might be asking too much of you.
Hey, I heard that.
Which reminds me that I promised Evelyn to look into the legal documents concerning the inheritance today. So much to do, so little time. And who might that be?
I didn't realize you knew your way around the law.
When you live as long as I do, you try out a lot of different things, if only to not get bored. Nate.
Hey, can we talk? I haven't heard from Esperanza in days.
Now is not a good time.
Please, Tiamo isn't here, and I don't know who else to turn to.
Speak of the devil. Tiamo?
Hi Charmaine, is it true that you started a cult on Sulani a few centuries ago? I'm standing in front of a Gothic church in a region called Lani St, and I couldn't help noticing how similar that sounds to your last name. Then there's this group of religious fanatics praying to an obscure higher power they refer to as the Divine Oracle. You don't happen to know anything about this, do you?
Sorry, what? There's so much going on here right now. I'll call you back later.
What did she say?
Not much, but enough to confirm my suspicion. I've known Charmaine for years. She's never at a loss for words unless she really doesn't want to talk about something. Whatever happened here back then, she was involved somehow.
So that's how she spent her initial years as a vampire. Unbelievable.
Now that we know the truth, what are we going to do with it? Sow some disillusion?
They'll never believe us. But maybe it's more fun this way. Let's go swimming.
Grande, those death flowers are not going to pick themselves.
Why don't you go ahead then? I'll follow you as soon as I can.
Our vacation doesn't end tomorrow. You'll still have plenty of time to stage encounters with your alien lover when we're done at the spa.
You assume I'm waiting for Shannon to come by so I can bump into her and act like it was an accident? What would give you that silly idea?
Well, if that's not the case, then there's no reason to wait around here, is there?
Right. We should probably go. At least you're not trying to force me into the water again. Remy warned us about the sharks in this area.
Did you hear that, children? There are sharks in these waters. The first to catch me one for dinner is my new favorite child.
Aye, Captain.
What the hell is wrong with you?
I've never tasted shark before, that's what's wrong, but I'm trying to correct my mistake.
Welcome to the Rapture Spa and Yoga Studio, your place to go for physical and spiritual guidance, therapy and wellness. My name is Eileen. If this is your first visit, please note that members of the LGBT community get special discounts on all classes, treatments and memberships for the remainder of Pride Month.
Cool. What community do I have to be part of to get a special discount on Mr. Shimizu's less official services?
I'm sorry, Shimizu-sama's astral projection meditation class takes place only once every couple of months, and you just missed it. Unfortunately, he doesn't hold any other classes at the moment, at least not in this studio. Shimizu-sama has spas and studios in other parts of the world too, you know.
How does he manage to take care of so many at once, especially if they're so far apart?
He is a busy man, and very demanding of himself and others. That is why his classes are so highly sought after, and his employees are hand-picked with the same degree of care and perfectionism that he applies to everything he does. So even if you couldn't meet him in person this time, rest assured that you will be in good hands with our other instructors and therapists as well. Is there any particular class or treatment you're looking for?
I'm not sure yet. Show me what you've got.
Of course.
I wonder what Mum and Grande are doing in there. And where is Loki?
At Remy's bar, perhaps, trying to make friends now that he can speak again without that creepy frog thing floating around his head. Perhaps he'll even impress a lady, or a guy, or whatever he's into.
And you? Who are you trying to impress by swimming so far out?
Well, Mum, didn't you catch that she wants a shark for dinner?
I'm pretty sure she was joking.
And I'm pretty sure she was not. Trust me, I've known her for longer.
You're only 18 months older than me.
All the more embarrassing for you then, that I know her so much better.
There, you got your wish. Now let's get out of the water before something bad happens. Hey.
Leave the sharks alone, they're a protected species here on Sulani.
Calm down, I'm not going to hurt them. I just want to play.
Are you out of your mind? If they fascinate you so much, I suggest you get a plushie from the mall.
If I want suggestions from your cult, I'll talk to your leader, who just happens to be a close friend of mine. Oops.
Tiamo. Fucking hell.
Oh no. That merman. I know him. He won't go easy on the sharks.
You make it sound like that's a bad thing. They're attacking my brother.
He brought this upon himself. I warned him to stay away from the sharks. Now an entire shiver of them might perish because of his touristy arrogance.
Oh fuck. What are the chances that that's just a female shark on her period?
Fish do not menstruate.
I know.
Are you okay?
My leg hurts a little, but I'll be fine. Thanks.
What about the sharks?
Most of them fled in terror after I showed them who's the boss. One wasn't so smart.
Unbelievable. One day you'll pay for your crimes against Sulani, Leviathan.
So what's the plan from here on out?
You don't have to do anything, just stay here and enjoy your massage. But before that, I'm going to piss off whoever they send us until they say something I can use to ask for the manager.
Didn't the reception lady say Mr. Shimizu is not here?
She also said her name was Eileen, but looked more like a Karen. As for Mr. Shimizu, he's just not holding any classes. But if he still expects Remiel to pay him for the latest delivery of death flowers, he ought to stay in reach.
Corwin, Aya, what a surprise to see you here.
That's what I was going to say. I had no idea you worked here, Shannon.
True, otherwise we wouldn't have wasted so much time waiting for you outside.
Ignore her, I don't know what she's talking about, and I doubt she even knows it herself.
Well, being a devoted follower of the Divine Oracle and spreading their message may be the noble thing to do, but not the most lucrative. Good thing I'm also a skilled physiotherapist. And sometimes I wish I was a cop.
You seem distraught. Did something happen?
You should teach your children some respect, Aya. They just killed a shark out there.
What?
Really? I wasn't entirely serious when I requested one for dinner, but still impressive. Those are my children.
How can that make you so proud?
Sharks are predators. Anything that hunts and kills other living creatures for sustenance is fair game. Sometimes a wild animal will eat a human, another time a different human will return the favor. That's just how nature works, the cycle of life if you will. Respect has nothing to do with it.
Clearly.
Oh, get off your high horse. I bet Sulani has quite the fishing industry, like many islands in the area, and most of the fish that are eaten or mounted on the wall every day are perfectly harmless. Why make an exception for the one that bites back? Makes just as much sense as your religion.
Okay, maybe we should get back to business.
I can't do business with this woman. She has shown nothing but disrespect for me and my beliefs since she set foot on this island, and now she's actively encouraging the hunt for an endangered shark species. I'm sorry, Corwin, but even my patience has limits.
How very unprofessional of you. I'd like to speak to your boss about how his hand-picked employees can't put their personal feelings aside to do their job.
He has an appointment and won't return until the evening, but feel free to come back then. Now get out of here.
Fine. I hear there's a delicious dead shark waiting for me outside anyway.
Insolent woman. You're neither related nor lovers, so what exactly is your business with her?
That's not an easy question to answer. No offense, but I'd rather not talk about it.
Right. You're here for a massage.
Alright, change of plan. If I were the manager, where would my office be? Probably upstairs. Leaving your computer running and unlocked while you're not around? Amateur. A real crime boss wouldn't make such a rookie mistake. Let's see what you have to hide, Shimizu-sama. What's this? A list of customers maybe? Marco Kioloha, Kielehopili, Remy Yalemba, Leo Hawata, Alika. I don't know how to pronounce that name, but that's way more than I thought. What does this button do? Well, you really have something to hide, don't you? I wonder if any employees know about this secret door. It's quite chilly down here. That's what I'm talking about.
Leviathan, Your parents seemed to have plans for you early on, if they named you after a biblical sea monster.
That's not the name my parents gave me, just what people call me around here.
I don't care what you're called, as long as you keep saving me from violent sharks and lonely nights.
Yeah, let's not go into detail about that.
And here he is, at home, reading a book, as usual. You don't go out much, do you?
Hi. You're...
Loki? Are you okay? Your face.
Yeah, I'm okay. Just a little incident at the lounge, that's all. Your leg looks worse, Tiamo.
I got my injury from a shark attack, and you, from a bar fight. I don't know what's more shocking, that you did go out after all, or that you, an overly powerful magical crossbreed, got your ass handed to you by some measly mortal.
Are you kidding me? I could have ripped that guy to pieces with my mind, but that would have caused even more of a scene. Not the most appropriate response to your average brawler.
What exactly happened anyway?
He was an apostle, saw me change the weather when I picked you and your mother up from their church 2 days ago. He said only the divine oracle should have that kind of power, and punched me in the face, just like that.
It doesn't make sense for him to get mad about that. There's a lot of merfolk living on these islands, and many of us have at least some control over the elements. I certainly do, and I also have a reputation for causing trouble with it.
Perhaps he mistook me for you then. In fact, judging by Remy's reaction and how he told the guy that he was barking up the wrong tree, I'm pretty sure he did have me mistaken for somebody else.
It doesn't make any sense no matter which way you look at it. If the divine oracle is indeed Charmaine, she shouldn't have such powers as a vampire.
She doesn't, but I'd love to ask her about it face to face. Did you bring your laptop, Willie?
You've been very quiet. I hope I'm not hurting you.
No. I'm still thinking about what happened before, with that shark. Remy warned us not to go swimming in this area, but I was hoping it wouldn't be a problem.
It wouldn't have been a problem if I as children hadn't provoked the sharks. They're not mindless killers, you know. In fact, they don't even like human flesh all that much.
So they just like drowning them? But for what? For fun? In that case, why can't we kill them for fun too?
Why do you talk like that? Corwin?
Sorry, I didn't mean to take it out on you. But me being on this island, this entire situation, it's too much. I should have stayed home.
You're here now. And so am I. I may be a physiotherapist first and foremost, but I'm a good listener too. It seems to me that you could use one of those right now, and Aya doesn't strike me as the type.
She makes fun of me because I don't like going into the water, probably thinks I can't swim or something like that. But it's not her fault, she doesn't know any better, and even if she did, she wouldn't be able to help it. No one can. That's why I usually don't tell anyone.
Tell anyone what?
I used to have a sister, Audrey. We grew up on a small farm in Henford-on-Bagley, the very models of rural children, spending our entire time outdoors, always looking for adventures in the wide open countryside. One day, we found that tiny lake in the old Bramblewood, where the Bagley River became a waterfall, the very place our parents didn't want us to go, but they never said why, which made us all the more curious. It was a mystery we just had to solve. So we went for a swim, laughing as we imagined telling our parents where we had been, and their terrified faces, and everything was fine until Audrey. Until she disappeared.
Did she drown? Is that why you're scared of water?
It's not the water that scares me, it's the thought of what might be lurking inside. My sister didn't drown because she couldn't swim, but because she was pulled underwater by something. And that something, even though I never learned what it was, has been haunting my nightmares ever since.
How did your parents deal with it?
Not at all. We were poor. Our farm provided just enough to eat, but no money, no health insurance, and we could afford neither therapy nor medication to help us overcome the trauma. But my parents never moved past the first stage of grief anyway. They kept insisting that nothing had happened, that everything was fine. It got to the point where they started denying Audrey's entire existence, claiming that she had never been anything but a figment of my imagination. Can you believe it? I wouldn't, if I hadn't experienced it myself.
That's harsh. I'm so sorry. Is there anything I can do?
Maybe. I lost faith in God the day he took my sister from me. But I'd like to start believing in something again. Honestly, I don't know what to make of that divine oracle of yours, but if your church has something similar to Christian services, I'd love to attend one, just to see what it's like.
Of course, everybody is welcome. But maybe you shouldn't tell Aya about it. She might try to talk you out of it.
Stop right there. Who are you, and what were you doing back there?
Easy there. I came to make you a business proposition, but since you weren't here, I thought I'd take a look at the goods first.
You mean my death flowers?
If you're not going to play games, neither am I. I'm a florist. Feel free to look up my website, Fiorini Mammini. And I know those flowers are illegal on Sulani. If word got around that you're growing them in your secret basement, you could get into some real trouble. Would be a shame if this beautiful spa had to be closed.
What do you want?
Your supply of death flowers, your list of customers, and your word that you won't interfere once I've taken over your business. If you break it, I will find you. But if you behave, no one ever has to know that you used to deal with illegal goods. And you get a special discount on any flowers you buy from my online shop, from now until forever. How does that sound?
How about this counter offer? You keep your mouth shut, and I won't report you for breaking and entering. If you leave now, I might even let you go with all your limbs still attached. You're a witch.
So are you, judging by the nature of your meditation classes. Managing so many spas around the world by traveling from one to another via astral projection, not a bad idea at all. Even the most powerful witches struggle to make their spirits look corporal. Hell, I can't even tell if you're really here right now or not. But either way, unless you know some offensive magic as well, I suggest you take my offer. Meet me at the Sandy Siren tomorrow to inform me about your decision.
I had to leave home soon after becoming a vampire. My blindness had been cured without any explanation. I wasn't aging anymore, and people started to notice. Just being accused of witchcraft was enough to ruin your life back then, even if you were actually a vampire.
That's nice, but I'm still struggling to comprehend the transition from that to being worshipped as a goddess by the natives of an uncharted region of Sulani that even ended up being named after you.
and I still find it absolutely hilarious.
Would you believe me if I told you that I didn't start that cult intentionally?
No.
Okay, fine. There might have been a little bit of intention after a while. But it all started with the natives simply being impressed by my vampire powers. I went to Sulani in search of the truth behind the biblical stories that the witch hunters of my time used to justify their actions. Everything else kind of just happened while I was there.
What biblical stories?
I'm sure you've heard of the theory that the forbidden tree that turns people into vampires and the tree of knowledge from the Bible are one and the same. That theory originates from Sulani, which is said to be the original Garden of Eden, and according to my centuries-spanning research, there is at least some truth to it. Contrary to what the Bible says, Adam and Eve weren't actually the first humans, and their sin wasn't eating the forbidden fruit, but abusing the power it granted them. The rest of the story, about them being cast out of paradise by an angel with a flaming sword, is fairly accurate. I should know, because the same thing happened to me after the angel decided that my little cult broke too many rules.
So, does this mean that there is a god after all?
I don't know anything about a god. The only higher power I ever interacted with was that one angel protecting the island chain, and I hear she's still around.
She.
Her name is Jophiel. You know her as the Sea Hag.
You say that like you knew all along. Why did you never tell us that there's an actual angel where we're going on vacation?
What would you have used that information for?
Trying to get a taste of her purity. Angels are the purest creatures in existence, so pure that if you have sex with one, you become a virgin again. Ask Holy Mary.
Bullshit. But now that we've established that angels are a thing, what else did you find out, Charmaine? How much of the Bible is based on true events?
I'm not sure, but if I had to guess, I would say everything. You can find similar legends in many unrelated cultures all over the world, each offering their very own interpretation of whatever happened in the past 6,000 years. If you piece all of them together, you might just come a step closer to the truth. But I've long since given up. It's just too much.
So, are there any plans for the second coming of the Divine Oracle in the near future? I'm sure your faithful disciples would love to reunite with you, and I'd love to see it.
Not as long as the angel is still around. They're said to be rather unforgiving, and they never forget a face. Chances are she'd throw me out again before I could even set foot on one of the islands.
I might drop by for a quick visit though. This island chain is getting more and more interesting.